When you're out at a club and you see a fly girl, do the creep and do the creep. And if you wanna make friends at the ATM, do the creep and do the creep.
How's it going, guys? Welcome back. This is episode 3 of my Minecraft Let's Play, and there's been a few bits of goings on, if that makes sense, but we've got ourselves a new little pathway leading from the house up into the foresty tree area. Just find it easy to get up and down that way. We've built a bit of a wall around our farm to stop them bloody dogs running around and trampling my farm, and the farm's still growing strong. Can't quite give it full harvest yet. There's still a few bits and bobs that need to be fully grown. The reason I'm recording this now, I usually leave it like a few days before I record the next episode, but I feel like I've been rushed into recording this one because I accidentally found a massive sort of cave area. I was digging the outline for a house and fell through into some massive cave, and I've done a little bit of exploring. I went and got some coal. It was running dangerously low on coal. I needed it to cook food and make torches and shit. But yeah, basically in this episode we're going to go and have a look down there. I've had a brief look, but there's no reason we can't go and have a look a bit further down. So as you can see, I found some bits of iron. So I built myself an iron sword, an iron pick, and do we have a shovel? Yeah, but we ain't got an iron one, just a standard stone shovel. So in this episode we're going to go down there and have a look at this cave, and I'm also going to ramble about a subject that was brought up in episode 2. Let me just go and quickly read it. How about the state of football, about clubs going into admin in the lower leagues like Portsmouth and Plymouth, etc., and how do you sort these problems, and maybe even go on to your opinion on a statement: the Premier League is killing the lower leagues and the national team. That's from the Sharko123. Okay, when it comes to teams going to administration, there's not an awful lot you can go about it. The chairman, I mean, I'm no expert, but this is what I think. I think the chairman just needs to be careful on who he brings in to run the club and spend the money, and he needs to keep a closer eye on it. I know the FA and FIFA and things like that have got this new thing that they do. It's like a big check on anyone that comes in and buys a club. I can't remember. I think it's like saying some check. It's got some really fucking stupid name. It's like the check of decency and professionalism or something. They do like a background check on the owner to make sure he's not got any history of running clubs into debt. I don't think there's an awful lot that can be done. I mean, we're in a recession, so money problems are bound to prop up everywhere, not just in retail and banking. It's bound to come up in sport as well. So that's just a reflection of the times that we're in. So the only thing I would do to sort it out is just make sure you've got the right people around you watching your money, and just focus more on the team you've got instead of bringing in players. Try and make a few cutbacks, perhaps see if any players would take a slight wage cut back on paying your players bonuses. Zombies, there's a couple of them there. So yeah, I mean, you could do that. Let me just kill these zombies so I can concentrate on chatting more bollocks and putting the world to rights. There's one down. There was another one, wasn't there? I can hear the fucker. It's a spawner. We found a zombie spawner. One man army. Oh no, and I'm being lagged and glitched out. Right, let's quickly stick a torch on there. Right, that should stop them from jumping out at me. Whew, what's in the chest? Wheat, cocoa beans, and some string. Oh, that wasn't good at all. Now where was I? Yeah, so see if you can cut back on things like player bonuses and stuff like that. This just feels so weird, killing zombies and then start talking about football. But yeah, that's what I would do. What? How the fuck are you still spawning? I don't understand that. I thought that killed the spawner. Maybe if we put torches round it then. Seems like a waste of torches, but anyway. So I would make cutbacks, things like that, but I don't think there's an awful lot that can be done. In terms of the Premier League killing lower league football, I think it is. But in a In a way it is, and in a way it isn't, because it does bring a lot of revenue into the country. Think about TV rights, sponsorship deals, TV rights, advertisement, things like that. And I'm lagging like an absolute bastard. What is going on? Oh, that's a little bit better. But yeah, I think it does. It has its ups and downs because it does bring in a lot of money, but at the same time, that also kills the game because we're concentrating more on bringing in foreign players than focusing on bringing in British youth. And I think one way we can do that is start investing in youth academies a lot more, and start spending a lot of the money that gets wasted in football on building academies and centres where kids can turn up, taught the game, maybe even do it for coaches and managers as well, so we get more English managers in the game, because let's face it, the Premier League is full of foreigners. Not being funny, but it is. There's only a handful of good English managers in the game, so if we can start building centres where we can educate new coaches, new managers, new young players, start spending more money on that, and then I think that would go a long way towards sorting it out. So clubs like Plymouth can pick up players from these academies, and that way they won't have to spend ridiculous money on bringing players in. They can just go to the academy and pick players out, if the big clubs don't pinch them, obviously. But that is one way of bringing in players on a cheap, and I think that should go quite a long way. I mean, I'm no expert. If I was, I'd be chief of FA, wouldn't I? But I just think little things like that would work wonders. And that's pretty much all I've got to say on that subject, really. Because if you think about it, really, if we spent more time on focusing on developing English talent, goes without saying, the England squad would be better, because the major Premier League clubs would be full of English players instead of Spaniards, Germans, Italians, French, Brazilians, Argentinians, whatever. You know, so why not spend a bit more time and money focusing on young English players, like the old days when West Ham used to do it. They're the ones that bought Ferdinand, Cole, Lampard. You know, that club done an awful lot for English football when it comes to bringing youth through, and I'm sure there's more. Well, in recent times anyway. But if more clubs done things like that, I'm sure would be a much better national side. Because if you look at countries that dominate the world game, countries like Spain and Brazil, are they a club full of English people? No. The Spanish league is full of mostly Spanish people. Like some clubs like Atletico Bilbao have a policy where they will only buy players from a certain region of Spain. And how the fuck do I get out of here? Because I think we've done enough. I'll tell you what, because we're going to fall down there eventually, because I'm quite clumsy. We'll do that. So yeah, I think just focus more on what needs to be focused on in your own country instead of concentrating on bringing in foreign players. And I can understand why people like Abramovich and the Man City owners, I can understand why they do it, because they want instant success, and football is a business, so they're just in it to make some money, and we can start collecting some of this wheat now. So I can understand them doing that, but it'd be nice if they sort of invested back into it. Like, why can't these massive fucking billionaire owners start spending money on like local areas to develop new talent? Fair play, they do have like youth academies, but they're like schools of excellence. You have to be amazing to get in there. Why not start focusing on literally day one football? Just have a look at your local parks and start building areas there, like little schools where people can just turn up and start playing football. And in the long term, I think that would do brilliant for like the British economy as well. Look how many jobs that will provide, because you're going to need obviously staff to teach, you're going to want people to clean, people to cook there, and people to do this and that. It will do so well for the economy. Football can do so much more for the British economy than it currently does. You know, charity begins at home, so why don't these owners start looking at British football and focusing on that instead of fucking ruining our national side by bringing in players like fucking people like Torres and that. Why spend 50 million on a fucking Spanish striker when they can go out and look for some English talent. Fair play, they want instant success, but think about it, man. It is a bit annoying. And I've probably ruffled a few feathers and just got people thinking, Rick, what are you chatting? But if you think about it, I think that's pretty much what needs to be done. Start focusing on English football instead of going abroad all the time. It's ridiculous. It's annoying because back in the day, like when my dad was my age watching football, it was a totally different game. It is the foreign owners that have come in and ruined British football. I mean, if you look at the 1966 World Cup winning team, that the English league was not full of Spaniards, Italians, Germans, French, whatever. It was literally an English league, and at that time, I don't think it's no coincidence that we were the best national team in the world. And if you look at Germany, they're so good in Europe because their leagues have got, well, their top teams have a shit ton of German players. Barcelona, a shit ton of Spanish players. Inter Milan, AC Milan, shit ton of Italian players, you know. When you look at Man City, they've got like a handful of English players in their first team that they never really play. Adam Johnson, Milner, Barry, Joe Hart's the exception. But I reckon they'll probably go and buy another goalkeeper in a few years. They'll probably go and buy Adler or someone like that to replace him, and that would annoy me. But that will do for this episode. And I know it's a bit of a rant. I've kind of got my soapbox a little bit, but if you agree or disagree, put in the comments. What else do you want me to chat about in future episodes? It doesn't need to be about football. I don't mind, but there's more to life than football and Minecraft, I suppose. But anything at all, let me know. Put in the comments. What do you think of the of our little area so far? Starting to get there. Eventually, we're going to build a proper building around the farm instead of just a dirt wall. Eventually, we're going to do the exterior of the home. We'll do some more cave exploring soon, because no doubt we're going to run out of iron. How much ore did we pick up in the end? 19, so that's not bad to add to our 5 ingots we got there. Plenty of coal now to last us for a bit. And we killed a zombie spawner, which I thought was quite Rambo. It's not like me to be brave. Look at me, check me out. Level 3.5. Hey, I haven't died yet, which is quite surprising. So that'll do, guys. Give us a thumbs up for the video to show your support for the Creeper's Pit. As I'm recording this, we've got 53 subscribers and would love some more. So cheers, guys. Take it easy. See you in a bit.